Hi everyone, I'm here with Uberto, one of our students. So if you're ready, Uberto, I will start asking you some questions about the course and your experience with the
Okay.
course. Okay. First, can you give a brief description of your musical background in general? What musical genres are you into the most? What instruments do you play? And so on.
Yeah, I play piano and I'm a singer. I play classical music with piano and pop rock with a couple of guys, friends of mine. And that's it.
Okay, great. So, what was your process for developing your musical hearing skills prior to using Use Your Ear?
I used interval training for almost 6 months, and I was real good in recognizing intervals between second and sixth, but when it comes to melodic dictation and recognizing notes fast, I was stuck, and I was able to recognize only a couple of notes in very short intervals.
Okay, so um, your interval skills weren't really translating into real abilities that you can
Yeah,
use in music,
yeah.
basically.
I
Okay.
I I mean I also train a little bit chords recognition between for example the distinction between major, minor, augmented and diminished, and that was good, but with the I mean the grades of the scale, I was really weak, and I couldn't recognize it in real music or in fast dictation.
Okay, so you couldn't recognize so you also tried the chord quality recognition exercises, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, and that was good. I mean, just recognizing between the different colors of the chords. That I think it's similar with what we do in this course. I mean, I chooses to try this course because I was stuck in melodic dictation and stuff like that, and the approach with the recognition of triads that I was using is similar with the one that I use in this course.
okay, but we saw that you still have some issues with chord progressions too, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
I am
recognize
only able
quality.
to, yeah,
Sorry.
to recognize the quality, but not the grade, not the function.
Okay. So you meant that the chord quality recognition exercises were helping you in recognizing whether the chord is
Yeah,
major, minor, or whatever, but you can still not hadn't helped you in recognizing the what chord is that, what degree
yeah,
of
exactly,
the scale
exactly.
is that, is this chord or that chord or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you told that you said that you told that basically you still had difficulties recognizing the degrees of the scale. That was
Yeah.
another thing. Okay, great. So um, okay, so we basically answered the next question with this thing. But if you want, if you remember particular other cons or disadvantages related to that process, maybe you can add, or if you think they were
I mean, that was
that was
the main one, the main one.
okay.
Uh, the incapability to transfer it in fast recognition of a melody, for
Okay.
example.
Okay. Okay. Great. So, okay. So, how did you hear about Use Your Ear?
With a YouTube ad.
Okay. And so, how long had you been looking for a solution before you found this method? You already told us that it was
I
about.
wasn't really looking for a solution. I mean, I wasn't really aware of the the best way to train my ear. I just thought maybe, for example, that I was a little bit slow in melodic recognition. But when I saw the ad with the video, I mean, it's the one where you talk about your method and why interval training can be I mean, not so useful
Yeah.
because of the bias that includes. I was really curious about this method, and I found the video, the ad, I mean, very well done and very well explained. So I decided to try.
Okay, great. So, yeah, basically, because the next question is about a similar thing you just said. So, um, the main what were the main criteria you used when making the decision of signing up? I think.
Um, the, I mean, the fact that you supported your method with scientific researches and with clear explanations of why you think this method is better than interval methods. I found it plausible
Okay.
because the main I think that the trigger was when you talked about the fact that when you use interval training, your brain tends to associate a function
Yeah.
to every note you use for the interval. And if you use the same interval, for example a perfect fifth, but with different grades of the scale, you it's really difficult to recognize the interval because of the different function of the notes. That
Yeah.
was the real trigger, I think, for me. The thing that made me think of changing my training.
Yeah, that basically you're mentioning that basically uh, you cannot separate an interval from uh, the abstract context that we always have in our mind.
Yeah.
So every time we think about an interval, we always associate it. We always include it in a context, even subconsciously. There's no way to really separate the interval from the abstract harmonic context that we create in our mind. So, next question is, how long have you been following the use your ear method?
uh, Almost 2 months, but I practiced only 10 or 15 hours really on the exercises because of my routine
Okay.
in this period of my life. And yet with such I mean, not a lot of practice in this specific problem, the melodic dictation, the recognition of a melody. I have already noticed a lot of improvements
Oh, great.
because now I'm easily able to recognize the degrees of the scale, of a
Okay.
scale, of a major scale.
Okay, and you find it faster to do
Yeah,
compared.
because I mean, I practice month with intervals training and with recognize with the recognition of a melody. I was still stuck.
Okay, okay, okay. And so you now find it also the way in which you can recognize melody is faster now. It has become
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay,
I mean, before it was not only slow, but really, really not functional. I wasn't able to do it.
okay, okay. Whereas now it's much more usable in real music
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So you talked about the next question a little bit already, but what type of goals do you want to accomplish using this method? You already talked about becoming faster at recognizing melodies.
Yeah, I mean, there are two main goals that I want to accomplish. The first one is to easily and fast recognize the degrees of the scale, but I mean with the chord that is playing. For example, in a chord progression, I mean in real music, that's I think the main one. And the second one is easily recognize a melody, because those are two elements that are the fundamentals of music.
Okay.
A song is composed by harmony and melody, so with these two skills I think I will be a very better musician.
Okay, great. So, what was the most obvious advantage you felt the use your ear method offered compared to other methodologies before signing up?
I think the focus on the sensation, the internalization of the thing that you are trying to recognize. You are not trying to recognize it with um, I mean,
With
I
mental
don't know how to
calculations,
explain.
with rational effort, maybe is with.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the focus in this course is more on the sensation. I think more on the
Intuitive connection maybe is what the intuitive
yeah,
connection.
exactly. And the thing that it's more spontaneous. I would say it's more spontaneous. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay, okay. And okay, were there any other advantages you discovered after following this method regularly? I mean, something unexpected happened or whatever.
Mm,
I mean, it's
I
not
think.
mandatory, so you can.
Yeah, no, I think that I found it really, really fast in comparison with the thing I was doing before.
Oh, great.
Because as I said before, I haven't practiced a lot yet, and still I have seen some useful results. So I think that when I will be more focused, I will see great results. I hope.
Great, great. So, okay, talking about results. And before talking about results, let's talk about this. Have you noticed any reduced effort or boredom in your training practicing routine? I mean, does your training practicing routine uh, has become more uh, enjoyable? Can we say like that?
Yeah, in some cases, yes. I mean, it depends on the exercise. I find some exercises more challenging or more interesting than others. But there are two things: the variety of exercises, which before it was only
Okay, sorry, I lost you. I lost your audio. Still, it's still out.
can you
Okay,
hear me
okay. Now,
now?
now it's back. Okay. You
Okay.
were saying
As
about
I
the
was saying,
variety of
yeah,
exercises.
variety of exercises, and also maybe it's more relative of um, questions you asked me before. But another thing that come to my mind now, it's that I found interesting that this is a complete course with steps, not only an app, for example, where you are on your own.
Okay.
So there is a person, in this case you, that that guides you in steps that are thinked to be functional to a process, to the development of
Learning process.
the
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
skills.
Yeah, that's great. So, okay. By next question is about improvements. So, by following this course, have you noticed improvements and improvements in your musical hearing skills? I think you just mentioned some of them.
Yes.
If you want to briefly recap and maybe if something else pop into your mind.
Yeah, the main one is the ability to recognize. For example, there are some degrees of the scale. For example, the third, the fourth, and the fifth that now are pretty clear to me. And I'm also, that's linked, but maybe obvious, but I'm more precise in singing the scale, for example, and stuff like that. That's the main development that I noticed right now.
So and that allows you to be faster at recognizing melodies, right? It was
Yeah, because obviously feeling more easily the degrees of the scale allows me to recognize melodies faster.
okay. Okay, so let's say, how do you compare this method to the previous methodology you were following? So the interval method in terms of efficiency. So time spent practicing versus results you noticed.
Yeah, as I said, um, I can talk right now only about the ability to recognize melodies because I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at this point in the course, and as I said before, I practice month, almost half an year with interval training. And I wasn't able to recognize more than a couple of notes really near together in a melody. And now, with I mean between grades with grades between 1 to 5, I'm really fast, and I'm becoming also faster in recognizing the sixth and seventh grade
Okay,
degrees.
okay,
And so I would say that it's really faster in this particular skill. It's really faster, the development.
okay. So how would you compare the intervals in this specific in melodic recognition skills? How would you compare the interval method to the use your ear method on a scale from 1 to 10?
Intervals method really low. I think I would say 3,
Okay.
2 or 3. And this one, I think it's pretty fast. I would say 8, 9.
Okay. Oh, that's huge.
really,
Great. So, uh,
really fast.
okay, okay. So, um, okay, and so have you found the methodology, I mean, the way of thinking suggested by this method as being effective when applied to real music? So, is it easily applicable to real music?
Yes, because as I said, I found it more natural and more intuitive because you focus on the internalization. You focus on sensations. I mean, not only in not only almost not on thinking and comparing with other things, but only on the sensation that the specific note has, so it become real much more
Easier to apply.
easy and natural to recognize it.
Okay, great. And do you think comparing, um, for the last time, comparing the interval method to the use your ear method, do you think that are these two method, the two way of thinking suggested by these two methods are as easily applicable to real music, are applicable to real music in the same way? I mean,
No, as I said, in my case, the interval method it wasn't applicable in melodic recognition.
especially in real music, you told us.
Yeah, in general.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, and great. Do you think that developing your musical hearing skills also impacted on other music related skills, maybe in your playing with your piano or in singing?
Most on the singing part because I'm a little bit more sure when I'm singing, and as I said, being able to, for example, easily sing the major scale, it's good to avoid, for example, some very real bad mistakes like going out of the yeah, going out of the key and something like that. I'm more um,
You're more
precise.
confident. Okay,
Yeah, my pitch is more precise.
okay. So your singing is more it's it's easier for you to hit the right pitches with your voice.
Yeah, yeah, and also maybe when I'm writing some, because I write my own music. When I write something, I'm a little bit more comfortable on exploring the different grade degrees of the scale because as I said, is more natural and not only a thinking process.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So, last question. What has most impressed you about the methodology that I suggest?
I think that the uh, precision and the quantity of material that is given because the videos are very specific, full of details, and everything is covered. I mean, I didn't found, for example, things that I didn't understand or thing that wasn't covered. I didn't have much questions, and it's easy to follow. I think it's easy to follow and very clear.
Oh, great, great. Thank you. So, thank you for this interview, and I hope you will have, you will see lots of results, and I hope to hear some feedbacks in a few months from you.
Okay.
Great. Have a good day.
Great.
Bye.
Bye.